With these developments, the real estate sector in India is set to grow. It's not just about how much money is put into the market, but also how well regulated the market is. And certainly with these developments, the Indian real estate market is set to be more and more regulated, providing fairer and just outcomes to more people who are involved in the market. Hello and welcome to the Business Law blog. Today we will discuss why India's real estate sector is set to grow to 1 lakh crore rupees by 2030 and what are the legal and regulatory reasons behind it. So, according to many statistics, India's real estate sector is set to grow to almost 1 lakh crore by 2030. In this video, I will analyze why betting on India's real estate sector can be a good idea, and I will support my argument with legal analysis of the Indian real estate sector. In this legal analysis, I will discuss reforms like RERA, the Benami Transactions Act, the digitalization of land records, and RBI's easing of lending norms. I'll talk about how this legal reform can lead to the growth in the Indian real estate industry and reach the level of 1 lakh crore rupees by 2030. So let's begin. India's real estate sector used to be really complicated with a bunch of rules and red tape making things difficult, but now it's heading towards some major growth and changes. It's expected to play a huge role in Indian economy, making up to 13% of the GDP by 2025. Thanks to some big changes in laws and regulations, it's shaping up to becoming even more important, reaching up to 18 to 20% of the GDP by 2030. The real estate sector in India is booming right now, with a lot of people looking for both office spaces and places to live. In 2023, private equity, which is basically big money investors putting their cash into real estate, hit 4.2 billion US dollar. That's huge. Even just in the second quarter of 2023, investments were up to 1.9 billion US dollars, showing that investors are really confident about this real estate market. City living is getting really popular in India. Last year, in the biggest 7 cities, sales of homes jumped by 31% to 476,000 units compared to the last year. So yes, things are definitely looking up in the real estate world. The government's been doing a lot to boost the real estate game. They're letting foreign investors put in up to 100% of the cash for big housing and community projects. Plus, in the 2023-24 budget, the government announced that they're spending 79,000 crore rupees, that is $9.6 billion on the PM Awas Yojana, a plan to get more people into affordable housing. But it's not just about throwing money at it. There have been some really solid legal reforms on the ground. The first one of these is the Real Estate Regulatory Authority, or RERA, that came out in 2016. This has been a total win for folks looking to buy homes, and it makes everything more open, fair, and smooth in the real estate sector. RERA makes sure that projects get done on time, and it's set up watchdogs to keep an eye on things, which has been great for bringing back trust from both investors and home buyers. This is not just loose talk. There have been studies conducted by real estate companies and law firms which show that this change is taking place on ground. In this article, publishing a study conducted on disposal of real estate related complaints before RERA, out of a total of 23,423 complaints received by Maharashtra RERA, 67% of the complaints have been decisively addressed. An analysis of orders by the Maharashtra Real Estate Appellate Tribunal in this article shows that delayed possession dominates the disputes, accounting for about 90% of the cases, followed by consent issues at 5% and misrepresentation by promoters at 3%. So, what the developers used to do in India up till now is that they used to keep pushing the date of possession. Now RERA has made it clear that developers can't just push back the move-in date by taking the excuse that they have to add more floors or amenities to the project. Even if they get the official go-ahead to occupy the building later than promised, they're still responsible for being late. In simple terms, if the builder does not hand you the keys on time, then you can ask for compensation. Also, the law says that if the builders want to change the plan, they will need to get a 2/3 approval of all the people who have bought into the project. If developers don't deliver on the stuff they promised, like certain amenities, they can be in big trouble, including having to give back the money with interest from when they first took it, not just from the date of delay. Another great thing is that everything is going digital, making it way easier to handle. Now you can register projects and file complaint online with RERA, cutting through a lot of red tape that used to slow things down. The second reform that we'll discuss in our video is the Benami Transactions Amendment Act. Now let's come to the Benami Transactions Amendment Act. It complements RERA. Back in 2016, India decided to get serious about cleaning up some shady dealings in the real estate sector with the Benami Transactions Prohibition Amendment Act. So Benami transactions means that when someone buys property not in their own name but in someone else's name, the money comes from someone else and the property is owned by someone else. This allows the person actually sending the money to own property without paying taxes for it, or perhaps for the purpose of cleaning dirty money. The law that first tried to stop this came out in 1988, but it got a major overhaul in 2016. They made the rules a lot tougher with bigger penalties for those caught in the act. They broadened the definition of what counts as Benami transaction. The whole point was to hit hard against illegal money in real estate, making sure that the sector is more transparent and people are held accountable. Key features of the amendment include that the definition of Benami transaction was modified to include transactions made in fictitious name and to include people who did not know where the source of the money came from. It also established adjudicating authorities and an appellate tribunal to deal with Benami transactions. It also provided for confiscation of Benami properties. This amendment was a part of the broader push of the Indian government to clear dirty money from the Indian economy. The next big land reform is the digitalization of land records through DIL RMP. The Digital India Land Record Modernization Program was an ambitious reform aimed at overhauling the land record system in India. Initiated by the Indian government, its goal is to digitize and modernize the country's land records, making them more transparent, accessible, and secure. This initiative is particularly significant in the context of real estate reforms, as it addresses some of the long-standing challenges that have plagued land transactions in India. Here is a breakdown of what this digitalization program involves and its impact on the real estate sector. Number one is the digitalization of land record. The program aims to convert all physical land records, including maps and related documents, into digital format. They're planning to get all those piles of land records, maps, and documents out of dusty file cabinets and into the digital world. This means anyone can quickly look up land information online without having to wade through tons of paperwork. Second important aspect is title guarantee. One of the critical objectives of DIL RMP is to provide a land title that is clear, which reduces property disputes and litigation. These clear land titles are essential for the growth of the real estate market, as they boost investor confidence and simplify the process of buying or selling land. The third most important aspect of this program is the unified land information system that creates a single window to access land records, including the integration of land records with Aadhaar numbers, bank records, and property registration offices. This program also includes the government conducting land surveys through drones and other advanced technology. By making land records available online, this program increases transparency in real estate sector, reduces fraudulent transactions, and makes it clear for buyers, sellers, and financial institutions to verify land titles and ownership details. With clear land titles and easier access to land records, there is likely to be an increase in real estate transactions, affecting more domestic and foreign investment. The next big reform that we'll talk about is RBI's easing of lending norms. The RBI loosening up on lending rules was a total game changer. It basically made it a lot easier for people to get their hands on money, especially if they were looking to buy a house. Let's dive into how this moved things. Number one, lower interest rates is one of the most direct effects of RBI's lending norms. Now, lower interest rates make borrowing more attractive for consumers, thereby increasing the demand for home loans. This has a positive impact on the market as a whole. Second, it increases liquidity. It makes more funds available to the public. It helps real estate developers secure the necessary capital for their projects and not just the home buyers. And it ensures the continuation and initiation of new construction projects. Third, it boosts real estate demand. Easy loans, easy credit leads to lower interest rates, right? And this leads to an increase in demand, not just for residential property, but also for investment purposes into commercial property. Fourth, it creates a positive market sentiment. The RBI's actions have created a positive market sentiment by boosting the economy, especially after demonetization, because it was important, after all, to increase the liquidity available in the market. Fifth, it has increased a demand for real estate driven by easier credit availability and led to an appreciation in property prices. While this is beneficial for investors and sellers, the RBI is also monitoring the situation as far as inflation is concerned. There are a few more important reforms in the real estate sector, like opening up of 100% FDI into construction sector. Also, the adoption of Griha standards and the smart city mission are a testament to India's commitment to sustainable and energy efficient development. So basically, when the RBI made it easier to borrow money, it was a big deal. It meant more people could afford to buy homes, giving the housing market a nice boost. Plus, allowing more foreign investment into real estate opened the doors for bigger projects, really fueling the growth in the industry. Now, India is really stepping up its game with eco-friendly Griha standards and the smart cities mission. In the real estate industry, we're at a turning point. The real estate sector is growing up thanks to these new rules and innovations. It makes the market less fragmented, more regulated, and the builders more accountable to their consumers who are the buyers. This shift is making the market better for everyone, whether you're buying, selling, or investing. With these developments, the real estate sector in India is set to grow. It's not just about how much money is put into the market, but also how well regulated the market is. And certainly with these developments, the Indian real estate market is set to be more and more regulated, providing fairer and just outcomes to more people who are involved in the market transaction. The shift is making the real estate market in India better, whether you are buying, selling, or investing. With reforms like RERA and new technology in the mix, the future of real estate in India looks bright. If you are a real estate investor, or if you are interested in knowing more about the real estate market in India, especially the legal issues and the regulatory issues related to the real estate market, please subscribe to our channel. If you like this video, let us know in the comments what you like the most about it.